always trying to see through your flaws, 'cause I know that you got so much more to give. You made a real mess, but I miss you though, 'cause I can go to sleep when I'm alone again. Say you wanna fix our problems. How long should I be waiting? Feels like I've had too much of drama, but I'm not ready to give in. Feels like I've had too much of drama, but I'm not ready to give in. Baby, all I really want I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down. All around this empty town, I'm searching for the lost and found. But you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Don't stare, cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares through. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and family beyond the binary, good evening, and welcome to the first match of the preseason tournament for Inspire Esports. My name is Warren Jugglegod Hammond, and tonight I'm joined on the mic by Spooky. How are you doing, man?
I'm great, Juggle. It's been a minute since we casted together, and I could not be more excited than to bring in Inspire Esports, the opening preseason tournament. I'm super excited for this league, Juggle God. You know, we've worked with a lot of these people before. We know some of the players, we know some of the, the staff, the producers, the observers, and all in all, they are really fantastic at their roles. So I think the production value is going to be high, very high. Yes. Like the team fights, the play is going to be really good, and dare I say it, the casting is going to be pretty darn great as well.
I think it's going to be top notch, if I do say so myself. This is going to be fantastic. I really can't wait to see what these teams bring. They are brand new to me, at least the two that we're going to be watching tonight. We have Prpl going up against Shoonz Goonz, which that last one is going to be a fun one to try and say in the heat of a battle later on. I really can't wait to see what they bring out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This is normally where we'd be talking about what we expect to see from these teams. It's a preseason tournament, Juggle. We have no idea. Like we are as in the dark as you guys are. But I was thinking about this a little bit, and Juggle, I think we're going to be seeing quite a bit of rush comps, the Reinhardt-based Lucio comps, largely because, when you don't have that information as a team, it's harder to run some of the more coordinated compositions like dive, even, the double shield, something that could potentially be countered pretty hard. The rush comp, it's more fluid in the moment. There aren't that many moving parts. Like, you don't have to coordinate your Winston and your Tracer and the Discord orb or anything like that. You're one cohesive unit behind the Reinhardt, and it's a little easier when you don't know what you're getting into. You always know that the rush has a chance of winning.
Yeah, that's a very good point. You really can handle just about anything if you roll out with a rush composition. And it's just a great way to kind of take a barometer of the match, take a barometer of the other team, see what they've got, see how they play. And then from there, you can move on to, like you said, some of those more specialized compositions. And, we are going to be having some great rush coming out because we are going to be headed to Busan first. So if we happen to land in Mecha Base, then that is certainly what we are going to be seeing. I'd stake my money on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's always fun, it's a brand new league. And then when you get a map like Busan, especially, each of these different points, Sanctuary, Mecha Base, they're all so different, even downtown as well. Potentially Mecha Base, downtown, you can get that rush working, but downtown has a little bit of high ground. It's good for Winston comps. The dives are very strong. But then Sanctuary, I know you like to see a little bit of the ball juggle.
Of course, yeah. I'm not going to complain at all if we see a little ball on Busan Sanctuary, but there are other compositions you can run there too. It's not just a ball free for all there or anything. Rush is very good. You could even make double bubble work there, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing, like all of these different points, there are a lot of compositions that could come out. I'm leaning towards the rush for the, all the reasons I said before. But, this is where these teams get to come out and make a statement, Jungle. Like, maybe one of them is the double shield team, or God forbid, the ball hog team that is just going to dominate the tournament the entire time by running these weird compositions that no one's expecting. If you want to play it safe,
never seen that happen before.
Yeah, right? Never seen that. But if you want to play it safe, sure, go with the rush. But if you're confident in your team, you're confident with your communication, do something different. Like break out the dive comps. Be like, you know what? Whatever. Maybe rush is the safe pick. Maybe we could try and do a double shield thing where we don't have to take these risks. But you know what? We're gonna Winston. We're gonna Tracer. Let's just go in. Let's just play with confidence, and you're gonna win matches. I think that's the number one thing. I doubt any of these players are actually listening to the stream. But if I could give them one piece of advice, play with confidence. Don't be afraid. If you have any pre-match jitters, just shake them off and enjoy the game. Have fun and just be very, very aggressive.
Yeah, that's right. Hold W and press Q first. Easy win. So... but that, all joking aside, tempo is a very important thing as well. So, the team that is able to make decisions faster and find those opportunities to pounce are going to be the ones that are going to succeed, I think. And typically they are going to be the ones who are going to use their ultimate first or, make the push first, make the first move. So I'm going to be looking to see, which team comes out a little bit more aggressive with a little bit more confidence maybe, and hopefully not overconfidence that's going to get them into trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. You can never tell. I do like aggressive teams, but they do have to be coordinated. So keeping that right balance is going to be, it's really going to separate the good teams from the great ones as we go through. Again, this is only the preseason, so there's going to be a lot more Inspire coming. So regardless of what happens today, you're always going to have the GG go to the next match. But obviously, neither of these teams want to lose. I think both teams are ready now, so we should be going into Busan in just a minute.
Fantastic. Yeah, we have the R's in chat. That means we will be loading in very soon. And, like you said, these teams are going to be looking to make a name for themselves. And whether or not that's going to be Prpl or Shoonz Goonz coming out on top, that is still to be seen. But both these teams do look like they're ready to go. And I do have to mention, I feel like I've seen a couple of familiar names in this lobby. Nico, I believe I have seen before, as well as Hobbs. So one member from each team. I don't remember too much about either of the players, but they are familiar names to me. So looking to, see what they bring to the game.
Around. They've been around. They've played in competitive tournaments before. These aren't just a bunch of new players. And I'm familiar with a bunch of players on other teams as well. So these are, these aren't these guys' first showing in a tournament. Like, they have team experience, they have scrim experience, and I'm really hoping that will come out in the level of play we're about to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And the games are going to be intense, I think. And one of the things to remember is that, like we said before, this is preseason. So, if somebody comes out with an L here, it's not going to impact the rest of the season. It'll probably impact the mental a little bit, but it'll certainly not have any bearing on how the season's going to play out. So just a great time for all of us to get to see what's up with each of these teams.
Yeah. It's a big deal and it's not a big deal,
Yes.
Just play your best, but really focus on more the synergy and the coordination of your team, and don't, it's not be all end all, try and get the win. Just, practice. Right. It's more than a scrim, but it's not really a regular season match. Just do your absolute best and see what comes out of it. And go into this with the mindset that you're trying to find mistakes you can fix for when it really matters.
Exactly. And we are ready to head into the game. The gates have opened, the match has started, and just like we thought, we've got Rush coming out from both sides. One with a Zarya, one with a D.Va though, so a little bit of a difference there. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But Prpl already taken down from a Seismic Fire Strike right there. Seismic just tearing through right now. Shoonz, Goonz as fast as they can. Hobbs is removed from the fight, as is Mastimmune, so no tanks at all for Shoonz, Goonz, and that fight is going to be won by Prpl handily.
Yeah, and it looked like that's a teleporter from Bastion, gets a Seismic and the rest of the squad quickly into position before, I believe, Shoonz, Goonz are actually ready for that fight. So, and now they get to take control of the choke points as well, Joe.
Yeah, exactly, and with that Photon Projector dealing in so much damage to those shields and to the team members of Shoonz, Goonz, it's going to be all in favor of Prpl once again. Prpl is able to get a pick onto Seismic, but I don't think it's going to be enough to swing the fight. Amplification Matrix dropped by Chili. Now Bastion has this wall online as well, but the picks are actually still coming in for each side. But like we said before, Shoonz, Goonz looking a little bit worse for the wear, and Nico cleans things up with the Mei.
Yeah, and it's not great because Shoonz, Goonz are actually able, they get some members back into the fight like Hobbs there, but it was actually just a very long stagger because they never really were in control of that. And this amplification matrix might be a little far out to actually get any value.
Yeah, I agree. It seems a little premature, you know, it's not really going to clear away anybody, give any useful room. But Shoonz, Goonz has been able to push out there beyond now the Photon Barrier. Shatter comes in, but it doesn't find anybody. And with the Blizzard from Nico, that's going to be another fight win for Prpl.
Yeah, very clean play from Prpl with a more standard rush comp, other than the Sim, who is just beaming away. Bastion's been doing great on that, got the wall out. But now the ult advantage is pretty solidly in favor of Shoonz, Goonz, and they got the pick on the right.
Yeah, exactly. And that is an opportunity for Shoonz, Goonz to get things going here. If they can capitalize on the main tank being gone, they can turn this point around in their favor. Fearful going into the backline now. He's able to find random blows, but Nico able to use that ice block to stay alive, but it's not going to be enough to survive that meteor strike from Fearful. And with 85% on the board now for Prpl, it's got to be Shoonz, Goonz coming in with the flip.
Yeah, they finally get the flip. They use a little bit more than I think they needed to actually take that one, but they do manage to cap up, and they have the grab from Mastimmune here on that Zarya, so that should be another fight win. You don't have the meteor strike with it though, the space jam, but it doesn't even matter if you can go straight past the choke points with the teleporter. It's gonna be hard to grab him up.
Ooh, yeah, already Fearful with a pick onto Chili. Without those big heals, it's gonna be very hard for Shoonz, Goonz to get anything done, and we see them backing off just like you would expect after taking a blow like that to their composition.
Yeah, and you know, Shoonz, Goonz win the fight without using any ultimates. That's great. That's fantastic for them. But Prpl does build up to this Blizzard, and there's no D.Va on the other side to eat this up. So it should be a win. It should be a team fight win, unless Shoonz, Goonz come up with something spread out a little bit or pick the Mei early.
Yeah, that's a good point. And already Prpl moving to the point. They want to get that Blizzard on the point, and there it goes. It's already getting so much value. 4 members down for Shoonz, Goonz with 90% on the clock now. For Prpl, it's all but over. Shoonz, Goonz going to have to come out with something dramatic to try and switch this in their favor.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like they're going to find it, but Fearful comes in. He gets 2.
Whoa.
That could be something, Juggle.
Yeah, that certainly could. Hobbs is back with the Wrecking Ball, so they're into the fight a little bit quicker. Fearful now again with the aggression. He's going after the back line now. Chili in a tough spot in that stairway, but the kill does come in. Prpl able to salvage some of this, but the fight's still going to go in favor of Shoonz, Goonz.
Yeah, and that's all on Fearful on this Doomfist, getting the value. He's been pretty good, especially in some of these clutch moments. He's been getting up some of these picks that are needed, but still. Now they have to hold for at least 2 more fights, and that's scary. That's a scary punch into a bomb there, Juggle.
Yeah, it certainly is. Especially with Fearful, actually, especially with, the members of, well, look at this. No, it's just going so in favor of Shoonz, Goonz. Shoonz, Goonz able to demolish Prpl that time.
Yeah, but it costs all of their ultimates to do so, Jungle God, and now Prpl This is probably their last chance to get in. It's almost definitely their last chance. But they have the Amplification Matrix, and they switch to 2 heroes that will really get a lot of value on it in the Hanzo and the Cowboy.
Yeah, that is a good point. Bastion over there with that flashbang now. Going to be able to take Fearful out of the fight, and that's exactly what Bastion's able to do. So this is a good start. Still, he has to use the Amplification Matrix and the Immortality Field. Goes down very quickly after that. And Shoonz Goonz coming out on top right here. They are going to take the first map after losing several fights early on. Excellent recap from them.
Yeah, great DPS play coming out from them, especially Fearful and the Penguin. Fearful, you know, saving that fight for them, using that Doomfist carry potential that really no other hero other than maybe a Tracer has to just win you guys a fight. And I really don't think Prpl was expecting it. I was watching Seismic there for a second, and he looked a little, you know, just kind of AD spam, just waiting for the round to be over, and then out of nowhere, like 2 picks, and he's whipping around trying to find exactly what was happening. And it really seemed like that Prpl thought the round was over. And then Fearful comes out of nowhere and just takes it from them.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you got to remember, it ain't over till it ain't over, and that was a prime example of that right there. But we are moving on to Sanctuary, and just like I hoped, we're seeing a ball composition come out. Hobbs rolling around with that hamster mech. Seismic and Killa, though, over onto the Diva Orisa composition. So this has been gaining in popularity a lot recently.
Yeah, it's a little bit slower. Both teams are doing kind of this half bunker with a Tracer on both sides.
Yeah, but Penguin removed from the fight early. Hobbs falls as well. So this Orisa Diva composition looks like it's going to take hold on point first and build up to a capture.
Yeah, Bastion gets a lot of value, which is not really what you expect, especially with a Torb turret. Just covering a lot of these sightlines. Torb turret's very good on Sanctuary because the sightlines are so long. We're getting a little Tracer duel here. Let's see if the Penguin can come back in, but it seems like Bastion's in control. Yeah, Penguin backs off.
It does. Yeah, Penguin had to use that recall, and they don't want to stay in that duel. Excellent pick from Hobbs coming in and taking out random blokes, but Killa equalizes very quickly. But it's Fearful and Mass Immune on the prowl for Shoonz Goonz. They're going to be able to take this point.
Yeah, it's just a pretty good engage from them. Hobbs comes in with a big slam, and it looks like the rest of the team are able to follow up, even without the Tracer support. And now we get really defensive positioning coming in from Shoonz Goonz, and the Zen and the Torb especially should be able to take advantage of just being in control of the point, especially when you're slow rolling with an Orisa. Yeah, your shield's not lasting long, and I don't think your tanks are either.
No, exactly, but Prpl does have quite an ult bank coming up. The Deadeye popped from Nico. Is he going to be able to take advantage of it? Yes, he's able to get Hobbs right before the pile driver comes in. Killa goes down very low. They are demeched as well. Molten Core committed from Fearful up onto the high ground to try and keep Prpl away from the point, and it is doing exactly that as we see progress really being made well for Shoonz Goonz, but a couple of picks coming in now for Prpl. They're going to be able to move on the point and try and retake this now. Bastion goes down to 6 health. They're not going to be able to win this Tracer duel. Penguin able to smack them back to spawn expertly, and now the Penguin free to reign in the back line of Prpl. And despite Prpl making a couple of early picks, this looks like it's going to go the way of Shoonz Goonz. Oh, but Killa gets the self-destruct.
Juggle, this comp's so slow. It's so slow. Killa might have saved them with that bomb, but they still haven't capped the point. And they're finally getting somewhere, but it took so long.
Yeah, I mean, 72% on the board now for Shoonz Goonz. When that fight started, I believe in the 40s. That is not what you want to see from Prpl, but they do eventually come back with the point in their favor. Crazy Kevin, though, pops the Amplification Matrix early.
He might be crazy.
Like maybe demech Killa, who just got the nano boost committed to them as well. That's
Crazy Kevin, this is an opportunity for Shoonz Goonz, especially with this pulse bomb that the Penguin wants to lay down. Along with this Gravitic Flux, it could be big.
Yeah, that it could. Pulse bomb comes in, but it's the Gravitic Flux that gets the damage done. And now with 60% on the point for Prpl, that's probably going to be all they're going to take.
Man, Crazy Kevin's Amplification Matrix, I thought was a risky play, to say the least, but it looks like it did get a lot of value for them, especially demeching that Diva and just putting a bunch of pressure in before the rest of the team was able to follow it up. I'm looking at this rally from Randa and Bloke to really get the whole squad on point, but I'm not sure if he'll get it before overtime starts ticking in.
Yeah, I don't think they will. It's going to be very close regardless. Bastion uses the pulse bomb, but it's not going to find any value. Seismic trying to layer in something with that fusion driver right now onto point, but really not finding much. There's the rally. They were able to proc it in time. Hobbs goes down very low and is taken out by that heavy pulse driver of Nico's, and now they have the tack visor as well. This could go very quickly in favor of Prpl if they're able to capitalize on these ultimates, which is exactly what they do. Overtime has come in, but this fight looking very good right now for Prpl. But Seismic goes down very low. The Molten Core is used on point now. That's going to make it very hard for anybody from Prpl to contest, but point eventually does flip over, and this half-hearted attempt to retake the point by Hobbs is going to end in failure.
Yeah, Fearful and Kevin use their ultimates at the end there in a pretty disadvantaged situation. So now Prpl may actually have a chance of holding on to this one, Juggle God. They have the Supercharger, which is what I'm really looking at, especially because they're really close to one-fight territory. If Seismic gets a good location for this and the rest of the team capitalize, this could be going to Prpl.
It certainly could, but Hobbs is gonna be
no
looking
trance?
to get no trance. That's massive. Chili's out of the fight though too. Fearful's gone. Here comes that supercharger. Can Hobbs find it with the minefield? It looks like he's gonna try to. Seismic gonna pull Hobbs back into the fray though to try and take them out, and it worked beautifully. Prpl gonna even up this map.
Dari using trance and spawn, dude. This is not what you want to see. Oh man, that is a rough one. And I mean, it's fair, you know, you've only got that one ultimate to hold on to. You think you're getting away from the Tracer, you're like, oh, I'll get a little heals from my BAP, and then I'll get into a good position, and I'll use this one that really matters. Turns out, it really mattered then. And we're going to
Yeah.
we're going to 1-1 as we move towards Busan, and it looks like, once again, we're getting composition changes. And it looks like Winston's the way to go on Busan, or downtown at least.
Yeah, this is a interesting swap up here. One team going for the double bubble, one going for the 6-man dive comp, it looks like. So, gonna be very interested to see how this plays out as both teams seem to make their way, one team making their way over to the Mega, the other choosing to go for the high ground. So, Hobbs gonna push in, Immortality Field committed by Kevin already. So without that in the playing field now, Prpl can start to push a little bit quicker, especially because they have this double bubble. It's going to move slowly, but going to be able to get a lot of progress done as the fight is starting to move on to point. Seismic removed from the fight. Without that bubble from the Zarya, they just don't have quite the same defensive capabilities. Bastion goes down very low on that Reaper, but Mass Immune removed from the fight. So it is 5v5, but Shoonz is going to come out with a point first.
Yeah, they get the point first, which is really good, because I do think the 6-man comp is actually quite a bit better against the double bubble, specifically for diving on that Zarya, but let's see if they're able to manage it here.
Yeah, let's see if they can. Coalescence used now by Chili. They're going to try and push to point and take it right out from underneath Shoonz Goonz, and they're going to have a much better chance with Penguin out of the fight. Bastion able to take out Fearful as well right after they use that pulse pump. Random Blow commits the sound barrier. Not sure if it was really needed in this circumstance, but they are going to come away with the point cap.
Yeah, and they get the EMP as well. So that's a very good fight for Prpl. Again, the sound barrier, you probably want that one back. But you have an EMP, which does everything you could ever want in an ultimate. So, you know,
pretty much.
You even have the Death Blossom behind it. So I do think this next fight should be going the way of Prpl. But Shoonz Goonz, they have a grab and a beat.
Yeah, and a beat.
They have counters.
They do. They've got a lot of counters. So this is going to be a very interesting one. Can't wait to see how it plays out as the fight is starting on the high ground now. Shoonz Goonz just wants to take that away from Prpl before they start this dive. Fearful out of the fight, though. Already, here's the EMP. It only catches Hobbs, and 2 are removed immediately. Bastion and Nico go down. The Penguin able to get tremendous value with that Death Blossom self-destruct. Able to catch out Dari as well. They don't have the beat to use anymore either, so Prpl coming away with a nice defense here. That is until Mass Immune and Crazy Kevin have something to say about it. They're going to push hard against Prpl now and try and take the point, and that is exactly what is going to happen as soon as they finish off with these last few staggers.
Juggle, the Penguin started this fight with a Death Blossom like 5 seconds ago. He's 60% to his next one. That's some kind of DPS diff if I've ever seen one. Bastion's going to be hard-pressed to come up with something as good as that, but at least he doesn't have a diva on the other side to eat up his Death Blossom. Let's see if he can get value.
That's true. But there is an Immortality Field on the side of Shoonz Goonz as well. Doesn't look like they're going to need it, though, for that Death Blossom, as it really doesn't find hardly any value at all, as evidenced by the painful sounds coming from Spooky right now. The Penguin able to find Chili in the midst of this battle, and Shoonz Goonz once again looking a little bit better for this. That is until Bastion finds a pick. Crazy Kevin, though, able to take Killa out of the fight. So Shoonz Goonz looks like they're going to hold on.
Yeah, and this entire map has been characterized by these back and forth fights where both teams don't want to give up, but someone's in control of the point. Someone is always winning in those fights. Sometimes it is better to just back out and regroup than keep feeding percentage over. And now this EMP, I really think is going to be the period on the end of this map juggle as it comes in.
Yeah, it catches 5 members. Killa is demeched immediately. Bastion goes down very low despite not being caught in it. Grab committed by Mass Immune to try and make something happen, but it's just not gonna get that much. Dari now with the Coalescence on point, keeping their team members up and dealing so much damage into Prpl. Prpl coming out of this a little black and blue, it looks like, as this map is gonna go the way of Shoonz Goonz.
Yeah, it's just an ultimate advantage in that last fight there. You know, they have the EMP, they have the Grav, the 2 strongest ultimates in the game, pretty much. And they've used them to solid effect. A 5-man EMP, a 2-man Grav, that's a win in my book. And luckily it's a win in Inspired GG's book as well, as these guys are going to take the first map. But, you know, pretty back and forth, pretty close. Both teams really trying their best. They do not want to lose, and you can tell very, very tenacious teams coming forward. And I think that really will set the stage for the rest of this match, Juggle God. I'm excited to see what's coming next.
I agree with you, Spooky. I think this is going to be a fantastic matchup. Wouldn't be surprised if we see this go, you know, a couple maps go to each team. You know, they really have been performing well. That map was not one way or the other. Both teams really came out guns blazing, ready to go, ready to give the other team a hard time, and that's what we saw. This was not an easy fight for Shoonz Goonz to win.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of that is potentially some of these pre-match jitters we were talking about beforehand. You know, maybe these are new teams, these guys aren't quite familiar with who they're playing with, they really want to come out and make a statement. But maybe that's a little bit more of a drawback than actually, you know, helping you here, because sometimes if you just take a step back and regroup with your team and then push forward cohesively, you'll get better results. Well, sometimes you'll always get better results playing as a team. And you could definitely tell in maybe some of the ultimate usage that these guys are a little antsy, you know. They really want to try and swing fights single-handedly, drop some beats early, maybe use a Death Blossom a little bit sooner than you might like to see, a little bit before you're in prime position to do so. But I'm sure as we see these teams go forward in the tournament, we'll see a little bit cleaner play. And I think both of these teams really have the fundamentals down. They know what they want to do. Yes. So I'm very excited to see them, you know, maybe 1-2 matches from now where they're just clean. We are going to Kings Road next, so maybe it won't even be 2 or 3 matches. It might just be a couple of maps as these guys kind of get into the rhythm of the tournament and, you know, get going. So I'm very excited to see it.
As am I, and there's some funny things happening here in chat as well that I just wanted to point out. Crazy Kevin has said that
lost
he
his mind
for the trees. Yeah,
absolutely bonkers.
Really living up to his name, and since he speaks for the trees, I'm wondering if he's perhaps the Lorax in disguise. So looks like we are about ready to head into Kings Row, though, and what a classic map. Really not surprised at all to see it in this preseason tournament. You know you're going to go there at some point. This is such a staple for every team. And like you said, you know, a lot of these teams may be wanting to use Rush and Brawl as a way to kind of gauge the other team. Well, this is the perfect map to gauge anything on right here.
Absolutely. And Prpl seems to be a little bit more comfortable on that classic Rush. Seems to, because we've only seen one map and 1 point of one map where these guys actually played the run-based comps. But we did see Shoonz Goonz come out with a more Feast or Famine Rush comp with the Reaper, with the Doomfist, where it's really just very heavy DPS pressure coming in and trying to get value out of that. While Prpl played a more classic style, and albeit with a Symmetra, which
Yes.
It's a hero you can pick for sure. But it worked out pretty well.
Certainly is one of the Overwatch heroes.
Yeah, it did work well. I do think Sim it has her place, and especially if you have a team who can play around the teleporters, can be very, very impactful. And I do think Prpl did a pretty good job of that, regardless of what I might imply because of the hero choice. But we are going into a slightly rush-based matchup. It is rush. There's Rhines, there's Lucios, but the DPS choices are quite a bit different here, Juggle. And I really like the Hanzo, though.
Yeah, the Hanzo is going to cause a lot of problems for Hobbs, and as well anybody whose head is in the way of one of those tree trunks. As soon as that shield goes down, which it did just now, Bastion able to finish off Hobbs very, very quickly, and now that Stormbow doing a lot of work in the hands of Neeko.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that Neeko can actually headshot both DPS that Shoonz Goonz are playing. It is an instant kill, it is a one-hit kill that you don't really get from much other heroes.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Amplification Matrix committed early by Chili to try and keep the aggression at bay from Shoonz Goonz, but they are pushing through and they found a pick onto Seismic. Killa going down very low as well. Neeko falls shortly after that, and Shoonz Goonz just stomping all over Prpl here for the first point win.
Yeah, absolutely no fear, and that's how you need to play this composition. If they had waited for just a second, Chili's Amplification Matrix would have gotten so much value, but they just stepped through it, and that's what you have to do when you don't have a Diva Juggle God. Yeah. You have to just move, because there's nothing to eat up all that damage. The Penguin is waiting, though.
Oh, yeah, but he's greeted by a Defense Matrix and a Rocket Hammer, and that is not good for them. Grab comes in, and look at the turnaround here from Prpl. They are firmly in control of this fight.
Yeah, and again, Shoonz Goonz just yeet ultimates into a losing fight.
Yeah.
Not what you want to see, and you definitely don't want to see Prpl taking this prime real estate here on the point and just getting picks. But Chili's down, you have to back out. Yeah, Shoonz Goonz will take this one off the back of the Penguin getting that pick. I don't even think the beat will save him.
Yeah, the Shatter does come in. It catches Fearful out. They are going to be removed from the fight. Dragon Strike layered in as well. That's going to split some of the members. And even though Shoonz Goonz was looking good at the beginning of this, Prpl coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah, but Chili has to get back soon, because they cannot keep this up. The beat let them do it, but Chili's on the other side of the freaking world, dude. Like, this is another fight where they're not going to be fully healed, or they're just getting there as Shoonz Goonz come in.
Yeah, they're barely going to be able to make it back to the fight, but the Amplification Matrix used first by Shoonz Goonz. Penguin gets the kill onto Seismic without a main tank. Prpl is in a lot of trouble, but Neeko able to remove Hobbs, so this could go either way. But the kill's coming in a little bit faster, the pick's a little bit more on point. Or Prpl at the... Nope, take that back, sorry, for Shoonz Goonz.
Yeah, and that's the problem with losing the BAP so early, is you win the fight, but you give up the positioning you could take. You don't have the health to actually take a forward aggressive positioning that would actually give you a lot of advantages in the next fight. And instead they get, Prpl's in a prime position to get cut off by the Maywall. And now Shoonz Goonz, they have a grab, they have the Space Jam combo with the grab Meteor Strike. Killa's got to eat one of these up.
Yeah, he certainly does. Amplification Matrix coming in now from Chili to try and keep things at bay, and it's doing just that as Hobbs is removed from the fight. Seismic down though too. Random bloke uses the sound barrier, maybe to try and let Prpl go a little bit more aggressive to retake this defense. Fearful has to use that ice block to stay alive, but they pop the blizzard right after that, and with 3 members of Prpl frozen, that's gonna be it.
Yeah, and it's finally in a situation where a late ultimate actually works out. Both of these teams are really, really just hitting Q whenever they get a chance to. They just want to throw ults in and try and win. Hobbs just wants to throw himself in and try to win, and I think he's gonna get punished for it. Yeah.
Yeah, he yeeted himself in a little too far right there, bit off more than he can chew, and Shoonz Goonz is gonna pay for it as Neeko goes on the prowl with that Stormbow.
Yeah, do you ever have those charges where you're like, okay, I'm gonna hit right on the corner to stop here, and then you just keep going, you just slide off it and keep moving forward? That might have happened to Hobbs, but looks like the rest of Shoonz Goonz are able to come forward and take this fight. Again, Hobbs just charging his way into the enemy spawn.
Yeah, he's certainly holding W. You can't fault him for not doing that. Mabel comes out to try and stop some of this damage coming in from Bastion. Deadeye on Prowl right now. They're not going to be able to get anything from it, though. Self-destruct used by Killa to no effect either, but the Penguin comes in with a pick. Crazy Kevin right behind him, and Prpl is just falling by like flies to what Shoonz Goonz has thrown at them. Shoonz Goonz has almost 3 minutes in the time bank right now, and they're going to be capturing this point in short order.
Yeah, you'd certainly think so. Randlo got a pick onto the Mei. The Dragon Strike comes in. It does a lot of damage here. There's a lot of members down, Juggle. Prpl might turn this.
Look at the turnaround from Prpl. This is fantastic. We've got Seismic coming in for a charge onto Masamune. Isn't able to get the pick initially, but it's going to be finished off by Bastion, who has rotated over to this Doomfist now. Shatter comes in, catches the tanks of Prpl, but it's not going to be enough. Hobbs is going to wish he had that Shatter back in his pocket.
And that was all a random bloke getting the boop kill onto Fearful. Lucio really can't do that much but stall, but actually gets a pick on the one member with the most impactful ultimate. There he felt that one fly by his ear, but you know, since you didn't have the Blizzard in the last fight, you'll have it for this one. So Killa, you gotta eat this one up, buddy. But
yeah, you do. I hope you were hungry.
Headshot Fearful, whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, doesn't seem to matter anymore. Chili uses this nano boost to move away more of the members of Shoonz Goonz, but the Penguin jumps in with a seismic slam. They're not able to get any value, but the Penguin is able to get it with the rocket punch after that meteor strike. So still finding value. Sound Barrier used by Random Bloke to keep their team alive through this blizzard, which they desperately needed. It's not enough, though, to save Seismic, as now the Sound Barrier used from Dari. Killa with the self-destruct isn't able to find anything, and now with the grab on point as well, it is all but over once again for Prpl, but there is a pick onto Hobbs. There's no main tank left anymore, so maybe Prpl comes back with this.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to. The Meteor Strike plus this attack on the Lucio, but you gotta clean up those kills or it's all gonna fall apart.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're seeing happening right now. The kills just weren't in there for Prpl this time, and Shoonz Goonz gonna finish with 57 seconds on the clock.
Nico blocked off by the ice wall at the last second. He blinks into it. Fearful saving that round after unfortunately falling much earlier, but all in all, Juggle God, Shoonz Goonz come in with just under a minute they capture, and Purple's happy to see that because they were staring down a 3.5 minute time bank for a while.
Yeah, they certainly were. They have to be very happy with how much they burned off right there. But they're going to have to try and equalize or best this time from Shoonz Goonz if they want to have a chance at taking this map and coming back in the series. Otherwise, they're going to be down 2-0.
Yeah, it's certainly going to look rough for them, and I think, Juggle, I think Shoonz Goonz might be playing a little bit better than Prpl here, specifically in ultimate usage. Both teams have been very liberal with when they want to hit Q. They'll throw 3 ultimates into a losing fight without a blink of an eye. They want to do it. But it does seem like Shoonz Goonz is getting a little bit more value. Prpl, you know, coming in a little early, a little late, potentially not quite the opportune time to use these ultimates. Well, Shoonz Goonz seem to have a little bit of a better grasp on the timing and the follow-up of when they want to commit. So I do think Prpl might have a hard time actually pushing through some of Shoonz Goonz' defenses if they can't match the ultimate usage that Shoonz Goonz have been putting out so far.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup because Shoonz Goonz has decided to go to the double shield this time. Maybe they're anticipating Nico again on this Hanzo, and they just want more shields in the way. Much more standard Brawl composition coming in, except Bastion, of course, for Prpl. The Penguin taking care of his turret right there, trying to keep it up. Fearful comes out with the first pick onto Nico, though, so Shoonz Goonz' defense starting out strong.
Fearful not living up to his name at all, just going on a deep flank to try and get some picks, and it does work out. Looks like Shoonz Goonz will be able to hold on here as they push forward. They're getting the damage in. Yeah, they're looking for another pick, but it doesn't look like they'll grab it.
Yeah, they were content to just push back against Prpl. Immortality Field used early by Chili on this high ground. That's going to be very detrimental to their chances to win this fight, especially because Kevin still has their Immortality Field ready to go. A lot of damage coming out from Killa, though. They are very high charge right now. Nico looking for that headshot in the back line, unable to find it as the shield jumps in the way right at the last moment. Prpl, though, coming out strong. They are going to be able to take this point unless there's some kind of Herculean recontest from Shoonz Goonz.
Yeah, and even if they have Hercules on their team, I don't think he's fast enough to get there. There's no Lucio to actually speed them in. They were playing the Zen Baptiste for the extra damage, but yeah, look how far back they are. They do not have the speed to actually contest.
No, they certainly don't. They're not going to be able to get in there and try and take that point. 5 minutes on the clock now for Prpl to try and get it through the street phase. Shatter online for Seismic, but what a charge. What a predict right there from Hobbs. They are removed from the fight, but doesn't seem to matter as the lion's share of the kills go in favor of Shoonz Goonz.
Hobbs is a joy to watch, man. It's absolutely fantastic.
He's a Reinhardt after your heart.
Yeah, absolutely. He just has shift pressed down at every single moment he can. And I love to see it. Still, Grab Dragon coming online for Prpl. They're going to be looking for a good place to put this down. There's the grab, and there's the Dragon.
And it rips through Shoonz Goonz, finding Crazy Kevin in the midst of it all. The Penguin follows very shortly after that. Bastion and Random Bloke doing great work on the DPS and support in the kill feed. And Prpl comes up with the card under their control.
Yeah, they continue moving forward. They just use those ultimates. And they're going to have probably 3 if Random Bloke can get the sound barrier up for this next fight. The thing is, you're probably not going to have the sound barrier up before Masamune uses the Scorpidic Flux. That could turn this for Shoonz Goonz. And this is a very good place to recapture the cart. Because the end of point B is very hard to push into. But Bastion, he's sneaking. He's sneaking, Juggle.
He is. He's looking for that opportunity, and he's found one. He's able to take Crazy Kevin out of the fight.
Oh, that's a big one.
Immortality was in time, though, but the charge comes through from Seismic onto Hobbs. Seismic says, I'm not going to let you be the shift king here today. Not at least without a fight.
Yeah, he gets the Seismic slam down, big Earth Shatter for 3 or 4 on the ground. That is going to be point B, and that's exactly what you want to do. Like, use your ultimates. I've been talking about their ultimate usage, but this is one I agree with. You need to capture that point B, or you could really stall out your entire attack.
Yeah, that is a good point. And stalling is not what has happened, but it is what Shoonz Goonz is hoping will happen, but not with a rocket punch like that into the back line, taking Fearful out of the fight. Nico has the Dragon Strike ready to launch as well. Amplification Matrix committed now from Crazy Kevin, but they're going to have to get out of the way of it or face the wrath of that Dragon Strike, which is exactly what happened to the main tank and the main heals for Prpl.
Yeah, still, they don't want to push into that spawn advantage. They get a few picks, but Bastion falls, and I don't think they feel comfortable, especially because they don't have the cart there. So they go back, they pick up the cart, they pick up Bastion, but it is a breath of fresh air for Shoonz Goonz here.
Yeah, they have a little bit of an opportunity to stabilize, especially off of this anti-nade that comes in. Killa falls to Crazy Kevin, and Shoonz Goonz going to be able to push back hard against Prpl right now. Exit pick does come in onto Fearful, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, they capitalize, they get strong positioning, and they're able to set up. But the ultimates are coming online for both teams, really. So I'm expecting another ult, but Bonanza coming up, and I think it may go in favor of Shoonz Goonz, specifically because of that Nano Reinhardt. Killa needs to get this grab up with Nico's Dragon pretty soon, or I think the Nano Rein is just going to run through their whole team.
Yeah, especially if you use this Gravitic Flux as well. That I committed to. Can they find any picks? No, in fact, it's Bastion who is able to get the value. 2 members down for Shoonz Goonz after committing 2 ultimates. This is not looking good for them. This is not the result that they wanted to see, but Prpl is thrilled with the results as they start to push forward. Shatter comes in and it connects big time. And that is going to be a white clean for Prpl. Going to go back and get the cart, and there's going to be one more recontest, though, from Shoonz Goonz.
And they're coming into a Grab Dragon here, Juggle. It is not looking good. There really is not anything to stop this. There it is. The Dragon's following up, I'm sure. And yeah, that is it. That should be the capture for Prpl here.
Yeah, and they have a healthier time bank than Shoonz Goonz did. Both teams, their offense looking very powerful here. The defense, you know, their defensive capabilities need to really start coming online.
Yeah, and that feels, to me at least, just the Lucio difference for Prpl. They were able to play at a higher tempo. They were able to take more aggressive positioning. They were faster just because of the speed boost, and they took a lot of advantage because of that. It really didn't feel like Shoonz Goonz could match the speed at which they were playing. And there were multiple times that felt like Shoonz Goonz would get some advantage going, and then Prpl would just back off or fall back to the carts, and Shoonz Goonz didn't feel like they could follow up on it.
Yeah, it's the question remains whether or not they could have. Maybe this would have gone a little bit different if they had pushed their advantages a little bit more.
Or if they just had a Lucio to allow them to.
Yes, yeah, that is a very good point. And maybe they heard you because Lucio's now leading on both sides right now. But of course, Shoonz Goonz has opportunity to change in spawn if they so desire. Early immortality field committed while we're loading in, but that's going to be back online before it matters.
Yeah, hopefully, for sure.
Hopefully.
It does look like Prpl's taking a bit of a high ground approach. Just shielding Nico a bit as he tries to get some damage in. But they're going to have to drop by and contest point sometime, and that Mei wall is going to be brutal.
Ooh, yeah, it is. That's going to allow almost a full tick to probably come online before anybody can touch. That's exactly what we see happen. Prpl now with that Mei endothermic blaster trying to freeze out Seismic, but not quite able to. Bastion, though, able to find a pick onto Hobbs. So this aggressive push from Shoonz Goonz looks a little worse for the wear, but the picks are coming in for both sides, so Shoonz Goonz is going to be in a better position, potentially coming into this next fight with Bastion still coming back from spawn.
Yeah, they certainly should be. I believe they picked up Seismic there as well, so there's only going to be 4 members holding the point, at least for a little bit, before those respawns can come back in. And yeah, Shoonz Goonz once again get a lot of positioning without really fighting for it.
Yeah, that they do. Seismic was able to make it back into the fight just in time for it to start, but not really with any good positioning, and we see they're falling very low because of it. Amplification Matrix committed by Chili. It's going to push back on Shoonz Goonz, and now it is in overtime. Shoonz Goonz has to make something happen, but it's looking less and less likely, especially with Nico on this flank right here. He's finding tremendous value before he is taken out of the fight. But this is going to be Prpl holding strong with a first point full hold.
Yeah, and just looking at the ult bank for Shoonz Goonz, you gotta feel for them. They were so close. If they just had a little bit of extra time, they would have had the Shattered, the Blizzard online. But they weren't able to get it, and kudos to Prpl for actually making that work. They really just allowed Shoonz Goonz to get on the point, to just take all of that free space, just so they could get the engage they wanted. Let Nico put the fear of God in them when he's just raining down arrows. But then once they're on point, they were able to kind of split up and collapse. And I thought it was risky. I did not think it was going to work out for them. I thought that they were giving up way too much space, way too much point presence, and it was going to come back and bite them. But no. They managed to take it with nary a tick, Jugglegot.
Yes, exactly. It was excellently played by Prpl. So, proving us wrong in the booth, showing that we are not, we're not perfect. We're close, but we're
close.
Not perfect. So, excited to see what's going to come out next here. It looks like we're going to get a Bastion. I wonder, oh my god, we're getting the Bastion TP onto the Mondada statue. That's exactly what we are having come up right now. This could be very, very dangerous for Shoonz Goonz.
Yeah, this is going to hurt with their comp specifically, depending on where that double shield is going to be set up. The Bastion can just chunk through them, and Fearful can barely even hit a shot on top of the statue. Junkrat does not aim up well.
Yeah, exactly. Now they have to be aware that the Bastion's getting set up. They're going to start laying the damage in. The kinetic grasp used to try and turn some of that damage into shields. They eventually decide to go back onto the ground. Fight starting out on point, and it's Prpl looking very worse for the wear right now. Shoonz Goonz making very quick work of them.
Yeah, and Bastion on the Bastion actually teleports away. Yeah, Chili gets a couple. He's trying to one-man army this, but he does end up just staggering out. And again, I think it's a 4v4 on point now, but Shoonz Goonz can't stand strong.
Yeah, they've got the Immortality Field out right now. Masamune using it to great effect, but it's going to expire soon, and they're going to need to put some heals behind them. But the picks are coming in for Shoonz Goonz. They are going to be able to regroup and continue this defensive hold. And now things may look in favor of Shoonz Goonz for the first time on this defense.
Yeah, and now they only have to hold for a minute. The swaps are coming in from Prpl, so they're not going to have ultimates ready. And Shoonz Goonz are building up to quite a few of their own. This could be a draw, Juggle God. Shoonz Goonz might hold this.
Yeah, it's looking very likely at this point, unless Prpl is able to come up with something big. Dragon Strike now shot in by the Penguin. It's going to split some of the members of Prpl away from each other. Now Fearful going down a little bit low as Nico tries to find some value with the Storm Arrows. Chili has this Amplification Matrix, going to use it to try and knock some of the members of Shoonz Goonz off that high ground. Need to heal up Bastion, though, as well before they go down too low. And now it's time for them to start. But with 2 picks already in favor of Shoonz Goonz, this push looking like it's done almost before it starts. But Bastion finds a couple of big picks. There is still hope for Prpl to come away with a win here and even out this series.
Chili finds the Penguin as well, but it really is just back and forth. Still, Shoonz Goonz, they're switching to fast heroes to get back. Seismic misses the Shatter, but the Trance might stall out long enough for the rest of the team to get back on point.
Yeah, and Masamune crucially has this Gravitic Flux in tow as well. Seismic goes down very low. They're eventually removed by Fearful. And now it's up to Bastion and just a few more members of Prpl to try and make something happen, but it's just not going to be in the cards this time. And I think we are going to a draw on King's Row.
Yeah, and kudos to Shoonz Goonz for actually getting away with that. 2.5 minutes on the time bank for Prpl. And for a match where the first half was so dominated by these offenses, neither team can actually capitalize on that and actually get even 1 tick on point A on their second attempt. And yeah,
defense really came alive there. You know, we were saying right before we went back for round 3 and 4 that the offense was looking so good, but my gosh, the defense really came alive on round 3 and 4 for both teams. So kudos to both of them for putting that up. And yeah, we're going to be headed to at least a map 4 today.
Yeah, at least. And I've got to say, Juggle, it's something I touched upon earlier, but I want to bring back to specifically, you know, when Chili was actually coming back and getting those couple of picks on the attacking side. Chili came back, got a couple of picks, even though they were already losing the fight. It ends up just thinking that you can continue to commit to a fight that's already lost. So, I mean, sure, if Chili manages to come out of nowhere and like get a 4K and cap the whole point on his own, great, you want to fight. And you win the match, that's great. But otherwise, it just ends up that you're staggering yourself out a little bit too long.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it can work because obviously the defenders have a long way to get back as well. But already you have some staggers coming in, and then suddenly they think they can come in, but then Chili dies, so that's a 3v4 instead of you know, a good 6v5 or a 6v6.
Yeah, I think it really was Chili dying right there that put the nail in the coffin for Prpl on their last push. Because if Chili had been alive when Reinhardt and the rest of the team started to push to point where there was that 4v4, they would have had a much better chance of coming away with a win right there. But just not going to happen, and they're going to have to try again next map. And Shoonz Goonz still in the lead as we are going to throw it to a halftime break. So stick around. We will be right back with more exciting preseason tournament action.
always trying to see through your flaws, 'cause I know that you got so much more to give. You made a real mess, but I miss you though, 'cause I can go to sleep when I'm alone again. Say you wanna fix our problems. How long should I be waiting? Feels like I've had too much of drama, but I'm not ready to give in. Feels like I've had too much of drama, but I'm not ready to give in.
I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Don't stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me.
Hello, everybody. We are back and ready to head into this exciting series between Prpl and Shoonz Goonz. Shoonz Goonz still up 1-0 after a draw on King's Row. And next we are headed to Gibraltar. So no draws here. We are going to get a winner.
Hopefully. Hopefully no draws.
Yes, exactly. I suppose technically it is possible if both get a full hold at 0 meters, but I haven't seen anything that wild happen yet in my casting days, which albeit have, not been too numerous yet. There's still been a little bit of time.
Yeah, but I mean, the way some of these Reinhardts have been playing both Hobbs and Seismic, I would not be surprised if they had complete control over their teams, that there would be some spawn holds coming out, because they certainly like to be charging towards spawn. Both teams very aggressive so far. They're aggressive with positioning, they're aggressive with how they want to follow up on fights, they're aggressive with their ultimate usage. Let's see if moving forward, and potentially on a map that's not really Reinhardt's favorite, well, let's see if these teams can temper that aggression a little bit, coordinate a little bit more cleanly, and I think if one of those teams are able to do that, they will decisively come out on top. Because right now, both teams very aggressive, but they haven't. You need to tone it back just a little bit, and because it does feel like that both teams have been caught out quite a few times as they try and push forward here, Juggle. So I want to see them bring it back a little bit, calm down, and I think a Winston-based comp might have them think a little bit harder about when and where they want to engage, since you've got those 6 seconds that you'll have. If you dive into the wrong place, you'll have 6 seconds to think about how bad an idea it was.
You're going to have more like 20 because you're probably going to be headed back to spawn. So, yeah, no, you are absolutely right. This Winston is definitely not as robust of a tank, I would say, as Reinhardt is. If you are in the wrong place at the wrong time, very quickly, and the enemy will be all more than happy to tell you about it. Contest coming up here on the bridge to start things out. Pretty standard for Watch Point Gibraltar. The Penguin trying to get in there. And then you can't deflect electricity, at least not without some rubber gloves. And I don't think Genji has any of those in his pocket. So that's going to be a fast fight win for Prpl. But the aggression is still going to continue, and Hobbs is going to pay for it. But they're able to remove Bastion from the fight. So Prpl, without one of their DPS, they're going to have to move back a little bit.
You say that, but Seismic goes in pretty hard, and like we were talking about how bad a lead could go. It seems like it does work out for him. They managed to capture this here.
Yeah, they have stopped the cart progress for the moment. Seismic has their eyes set on that Genji, but they decide to opt for the Mercy and the Echo instead. Mana Boost committed now onto Mass Immune. They're getting tremendous damage done for Shoonz Goonz, but it's going to be Fearful who takes out Seismic. Hobbs loses their life as well, so no Winston's left on the point. Self-destruct does catch Chili, so good news there for Prpl, for Shoonz Goonz, but the news isn't going to be good enough because Prpl still has more people left.
Yeah, Killa picking up a 5k at the end there. First with the grab, then followed up with the nano, putting down so much damage. Shoonz Goonz just gets completely pushed back. Prpl hold on to this first point, and they have the ultimates to keep holding here. Bob, Rally, they're coming up close to that duplicate, but it's going up against Fearful's duplicate of his own, and I'm curious to see exactly who he'll copy here, if he'll go for the Winston, or maybe even the Zarya, but here he comes. It is the Winston. 2-3 monkeys on the field.
That is a lot of monkey business right there. Nico tries to use that coach gun to boop away one of those primaling Winstons. They're able to do so successfully, but now it's Killa on the prowl with that gun, and Hobbs though with the primal able to get some members of Prpl very low, but eventually falls. Prpl is going to be able to hold on to this point very well.
Yeah, it's really back and forth here, Juggle. I'm trying to see who actually has the advantage, but seems like Shoonz Goonz dives are very split up, and Prpl is taking advantage of that. Collapsing on one side as it tries to push in.
Yeah, exactly. Fearful able to take Nico out of the fight, so now no high ground pressure, no sniper that you have to worry about your head for, but Seismic able to take Mass Immune out of the fight and even things up. Killa has this Graviton Surge online. Don't think they're going to need it, though, for this hold, as Bastion able to get another pick for Prpl.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like Shoonz Goonz are coordinated. It feels like Hobbs is going in time and time again with absolutely no support behind him, and Prpl just turns around and collapses to take out the Winston. And now Shoonz Goonz are looking... They have to look very hard at the fact that they might end up not even capping point A here on Gibraltar.
Yeah, swaps are starting to come in as well. Dari goes over to the Zenyatta to try and get a little bit more damage, presumably in onto Prpl, but it's Seismic once again who finds Hobbs. Hobbs just jumping in a little too far. It looks like his habits from Reinhardt have translated over to Winston as well. Seismic getting close to their primal rage now, but they're not going to use it just yet. Nico goes down very low, backs off appropriately. There's the Graviton to the Tracer, and that could be pivotal. It's only one pick, but sometimes that's all you need to start the waterfall and the cascade of damage and picks to come in. Fearful able to equalize with a pick on the Bastion, but there's been another one for Prpl. Random Bloke pops this rally, and now this is all but over, I think, for Shoonz Goonz. They've got next to no chance to cap this point.
Yeah, Crazy Kevin has to come back here and land this nano onto somebody. I don't think he'll be able to, especially with the D.Va out of mech. That is it. Crazy Kevin dying with the nano boost there is definitely not what you want to see. Hobbs, all the ultimates committed, but if you can't touch the point, it doesn't even matter. Shoonz Goonz got completely dismantled.
Yeah, that they did. I think at least as far as defense is concerned, Prpl has a very good dive defense. So yeah, it's up to them to see if they can, make the magic happen on offense, though. And if they do, they're going to be able to even out this series.
Yeah, they certainly seem to be a little bit more comfortable. And of course, they did have a composition that's... It's very hard to get value from Hobbs, especially with that Brigida. And if you don't exactly have the support coming in, you're just a 500 HP old charge battery every time you dive into the backline. It really is not doing well for them, and I think they do notice that, so they're going to try a different composition with the double shield, which is a little bit more suited for these full holds, just bunker up and hope for the best. But Prpl do have a lot of time to push the cart not very far, so let's see if this complete bunker will be able to fuller hold Prpl here, or if it's going to go to a 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, that hold can certainly happen there. I've been in games where I've been on both the receiving and distributing side of a win right there. Coming in with a fuller hold or getting fuller held myself. So it is absolutely possible, and I'm very surprised at this composition we're seeing coming out from Prpl.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're going for the halt hook. They tried. They certainly tried.
Yep, they gave it a shot. Bastion already out of the sky, though, by a body shot from the Stormboat of the Penguin. So, yeah, Prpl just going to have to try again. And, yeah, they're going straight back to Double Bubble. This brief foray into a pulled port combo going the wayside very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. They do decide they want to stick on the Pharah here, and I don't mind it. There's really nothing but the turret that's really going to keep you from getting that damage down. And if you take that out, it is really hard for anyone to actually take the Pharah out of the sky. So I do like it. Just slow roll a little bit. I'm not sure how much value it'll get. I was going to say under the bridge, but Prpl's already pushed the cart. They're one fight away from winning this map, Jungle.
Oh, yeah, and Shoonz has to be perfect, and that is a crack in the perfection right now. It looks like Hobbs is going to go down very quickly after that. No tanks left. Nobody to soak up damage. Nobody to really provide heart pressure right now. Fearful trying to do it on Torb, and that's the next best option you have right there, and that is a fast win for Prpl.
Yeah, and it's a good one for the team. After a loss and a draw, you're itching for a little something, you need a hit. You need a hit of that victory screen to keep you going, and they do manage to get it. So good for Prpl. They looked really strong on this double bubble comp. They looked like they knew exactly what they wanted to do, and it's turned out incredibly well for them. Shoonz Goonz just rambling, floundering, whatever word you want to use for not looking very good, you can apply it right here, because their Winston-based compositions just didn't feel like they had the support they needed. They looked a little bit lost, so I'm definitely excited to see which map we'll go to next and potentially shy away from some of these divey comps. But again, it's Watchpoint Gibraltar. You have to run the dive, no matter what you're doing. Like, and there's so much high ground. So maybe just a weak map for them that they'll want to shore up a little bit, but not actually conducive to the rest of their gameplay. Just a bad map potentially.
Yeah, and this makes me think that we're probably going to see something that really favors the rush composition or a double shield coming out from Shoonz Goonz with the map choice. And I imagine Prpl has to realize that now they have a win condition for this entire series, I think, right? If they can go to maps, or if they can force the double bubble for themselves or for Shoonz Goonz onto it, they've got an easy victory condition here, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm curious to see exactly what's going to come out. If I were Shoonz Goonz, with this idea in mind that you probably want to play more rush, I'd probably go to Hanamura. There's not as much high ground. It's a little bit more straightforward. There are a lot of chokes to take advantage of. With every 2 CP, there's a lot of chokes to take advantage of. But definitely, it's Volskaya you can run the double bubble on. Temple of Anubis is Temple of Anubis. And it really a lot of different compositions able to come online, but I think it does favor the double shield actually quite a bit more. So and that's in mind, you kind of have the dive-based Volskaya, the rush Hanamura, and the double shield Temple of Anubis. And Temple is actually the one we're going to see. Of course, it's not a hard rule. You can play any comps on any maps, but I do think you could make double bubble work on Temple for sure.
I think you can, especially on attack. Attack, it feels very, very doable. And honestly, first point defense as well. It's not run as much, but it is certainly possible. There is that little perch that you can put yourself on if you are a Winston right next to the arches over the first choke. That's certainly a spot that you can set up on, but yeah, definitely not ideal, I don't think, on defense.
Yeah, I actually do like it a lot on defense. The only problem is you have to commit to the dives. And
yes,
on point A, if you commit to something that's a little bit bad, like GG, go next, you're going to point B because you are not getting back in time. I do think it is a strong composition, but it's less forgiving than, like the double shield, the Orisa-based comps, or even the Reinhardt rush comps, which it does seem like...
boomer bust.
Yeah, it is very boomer bust, and the bust hurts a little bit more than the boom most of the time. So I'm not surprised we're not going to see it. And we are going to go over to something Prpl actually pulled out on Busan Sanctuary. It is this slow-rolling Orisa Diva comp. But this time they don't have to walk on the point, so I'm hoping it'll work out a little bit better for them.
Yeah, I imagine it will. The defense seems to be much more suited towards this kind of composition. Nico back on that Hanzo as well. We've seen so much value coming in from him. Rush, pretty standard coming out from Shoonz Goonz, but Fearful on that Doomfist. Again, they really like playing it. They love that one pick potential that Doomfist brings. Prpl backing up a little bit, giving a little bit of space now towards Shoonz Goonz to push out with. Yeah, that was a massive anti, and Fearful not going to be able to survive. They go in for the dive, but it is a little bit premature, I think. Prpl is just a little too far back for them to get any value. Charge comes in, and Hobbs pays for it with his life. Once again, that aggression just a little too much at that point. Fell to the same problem, I think, that Fearful did.
Yeah, and Juggle, Chili has been popping off this entire match. He gets a big ante, gets to sleep, and follows it up with another ante. The only time we criticize Chili is because he was getting too many kills. Like, he was getting kills it was the wrong time, but if the only thing we can criticize a player for is that they're killing, they're probably pretty good.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. The rush coming in hard now from Shoonz Goonz. They're able to get a pick on the Seismic, but Fearful falls once again. Bastion removed from the fight shortly after that. Amplification Matrix committed now by the Penguin, trying to get some value on the high ground, maybe take out that baby Diva. Samune is there, though, to do just that. And now Shoonz Goonz has a nice setup on point, but the rally is popped from Random Bloke, but he just flies back towards the Mega. I was unsure why he went in that direction. Chili removed from the fight after they commit the Nano to Nico as well, and I think you're just throwing ults into a lost fight here, Prpl.
Yeah, who would do that ever? But it's like one of those videos where you do like the shield bash text, and Random Bloke just found a new one when he really didn't want. I think he just shield bashed like over the side instead of going back to support his team. But the ultimates are now coming online for Prpl, but I don't know if it'll be fast enough with this grab coming out.
Jeez, yeah, me either, especially now that Killa's demech. This is the opportunity for the grab to come in. But Bastion is there with a Deadeye with Nico. Penguin finds the pick as well, though, but because there are counter picks, this is going to favor Prpl as long as enough of them can stay alive. Killa now trying to dodge and duck furiously from this Cowboy. They get the remake, though. The flashbang does come in and connect, but it's not going to be enough. Shoonz backs off.
Yeah, Prpl just throw their DPS ultimates quickly into that one, and it manages to work out. It does buy them enough space. It gets a couple picks, and then Shoonz Goonz can't follow up on the grab. But they are building up to ultimates quite a bit more quickly than Prpl are here, and they're going to have both of these support ults along with the Shatter and Fearful's Doomfist ultimate as well. An early bomb tries to get some... What?
It finds two! Crazy! Where were you with the immortality field?
The shield was there, Jungle! Like, was he standing on top of it?
I don't know. That was very confusing. So, just like I think Shoonz Goonz, we were scratching our heads in the casting booth on that one. But Shoonz Goonz has regrouped. Give us a moment in the casting booth to do the same, and we'll be ready to go again.
I'll credit that to a seismic halt, I guess.
Maybe. Yeah.
That might not be what I believed happened, but I'll say that was Seismic's fantastic halt to get that bomb off. But still, Shoonz Goonz did not have to commit any ultimates to that fight, so they're coming into this one with 5 and a sound barrier as they engage.
Wow. That amplification matrix was just deleted by Fearful. They did an excellent job taking that out of the fight, but Prpl still able to hold on with this defense.
Yeah, they got a couple of picks, but now a lot are flooding in from the supports of Shoonz Goonz. They might get a tick here, Juggle.
They might, actually. This turned around in the blink of an eye with some excellent picks from Shoonz Goonz. Rally committed now from Random Bloke to try and push his team back out onto point and push away Shoonz Goonz, and that's exactly what they're going to be able to do. Shoonz Goonz knew that they didn't have the backup behind them, but they're coming back in now with a Graviton Surge, and the picks are coming in droves now. It's just Killa, Nico, and Seismic and Bastion left on point, but that seems to be enough to hold on, at least for the moment. They are able to get one pick, but now the aggression coming in from Shoonz, the Penguin removed from the fight once again. Self-destruct comes in from Killa to clear the point away. Amplification nice remake right there, right around the corner. Takes Crazy out of the fight. That's going to be Prpl holding on once again.
Yeah, the spawn advantage is incredibly strong, and Shoonz Goonz, despite getting a lot of advantages, using their ultimates in clean ways and just taking the points very, very well, it's not quite enough. They do get a tick out of it. So you know you're not going to go into that 1-1 draw that you see so often. You do have your win conditions set up. So I think that's pretty good. Yeah, you know, you do get something out of the push. You get some ultimates out of Prpl as well. And now you swap over to a more standard rush comp to try and get that presence on point that Prpl really can't have with the Winston and the Tracer. It's not nearly as good as like the Ryan May to actually hold.
Yeah, exactly. Pulse Bomb goes in, but the Immortality Field is there. Seismic now looking to maybe cause some trouble with this Primal from the back. Wrapping around Shoonz Goonz instead. Here comes the Deadeye from Bastion. Everybody gonna back away. Is he gonna be able to get the Rhine? No, but Killa is there with the follow-up to get it. Primal committed by Seismic now, booping away that May. Keeping them away from the fight, keeping them from freezing anybody up. But in the meantime, after Seismic left point, picks came in for Shoonz Goonz, but now that he's back, he's able to push the aggression away. Nico now tickling the backline as well. That's going to be another stronghold for Prpl, and with just a minute to go, Shoonz Goonz is just about out of options.
Yeah, they're just about out of options except for this Graviton Surge juggle, which could come down. I'm watching Killa. He cannot use this bomb aggressively because he has a grab and a blizzard he has to eat. As soon as this bomb comes out, that's the go sign for Massimoon and Fearful to actually use their ultimates.
Yeah, here comes the self-destruct and the high noon. Cowboy doesn't get any value with it, but Crazy Kevin does find Nico, so kills coming in early for Shoonz Goonz. The grab committed as well. That's going to be another couple on the board for them. And this is looking very good for Shoonz chance to capture this with only a few seconds left to go. Can Prpl pull out a defense here? They have the pulse bomb, but they're forced to use the recall. Can they find anybody? No, it's dropped onto the ground. Hobbs finds Chili as well. So things not starting out very well for Prpl. Second tick finally goes in for Shoonz. Bastion does get a counter pick, but it's just one in the face of all of this that's coming in from Shoonz. Chatter connects as well, and that's going to drop Seismic. It's just Killa now on this Wrecking Ball to try and keep their hopes alive of not allowing this capture to go through from Shoonz. Here's the Coalescence, though. That could be the turning point, as a lot of damage was just layered in for Prpl. And now the picks are starting to come in for them as well. Ooh, but not after that. Seismic is the last open. It's just going to be a little bit of time stalling on the clock. Shoonz takes a second point Anubis.
Yeah, in overtime, but they do manage to take it, and credit to Crazy Kevin for actually coming back on the Moira there after falling on the Baptiste. Just whatever hero is fast enough to get back, he does commit to that, even though, you know, you might think you've already won, you might think that you've already lost, but he does commit to the Moira just to get back faster, and it does contribute. He gets a healing orb out, and it does keep the team alive, and it is Shoonz managing to capture that. I do want to credit at least somewhat that first tick they managed to get, because it did look like multiple times Prpl were almost back into that, but they didn't have nearly as much time as they would have otherwise, since Shoonz already had a little bit of percentage going. Bastion did his best on the Doomfist, almost clutched it out, but they are going to cap the 2 points in overtime. Prpl are looking to beat this.
Yeah, they are, and you know, if we see what we saw from them before, I think the chances are pretty strong for them to have a healthy time bank, even capping second point. But a little
we're seeing something we've seen from them before. I've certainly seen these heroes before for a second.
Yeah, but not for very long. I wonder if they're just gonna tease it for a moment, or you know, if they're gonna actually swap over to something else. But no, it looks like they may be wanting to commit to the pulled pork again. You know, it's not 2019 anymore. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure where the halt hook combo right out of Anubis's gates are. Like, I know Gibraltar's, but I guess they're gonna show me.
Yep, who knows? They're gonna give it a shot, that's for sure. They're gonna give it the old college try. Paywall comes out to block the rotation. Killa, though, is able to get a pick onto Hobbs. It is equalized by Kevin, though, so Sleep comes in from Chili onto that island. Rez comes in onto Killa as well, so now Prpl looking like they have the opportunity to start pushing in here as the Seismic takes Dari out of the fight as well.
Yeah, that was just a bunch of damage coming into Hobbs, I think, from Bastion, and it was just Killa who was able to clean it up. Let's see if Prpl can actually capitalize on this. They have lost the Genji, and it does look like Shoonz are going to get a strong hold here, and Killa's dead.
Yeah, exactly. This composition is just moving so slow for Prpl, but look at this.
Is he good?
Wow, he's able to get one pick, but Fearful is able to ice him out of the sky, sniping May right there. That is a fantastic play. Crazy Kevin healing up Hobbs on one of his crazy adventures. But Prpl still in this fight. They're not giving up their ground completely. Oh, now they are. They are backing out as Hobbs, another one of his patented yeets into the enemy team, and actually lived through this one.
Yeah, he's lucky that hook did not connect, but I do like the aggression, kind of pressuring this team out. But you're going to have to watch out for this nano barrage that I'm sure is coming up. So far, Shoonz have done a very good job of fighting against this very strange composition they found themselves faced against. But this nano barrage is going to be big. But if you get the picks, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and the picks come in. Bastion is able to get two. Blizzard used now by Fearful to try and reverse the fortunes. Penguin and Kevin are able to do just that, though. Counter picks coming in. Random Blow goes down very low now as well, and is removed from the fight. Yeah, he did want the res, but it's not going to be in the cards for them this time. Seismic now on the high ground. They have this supercharger, but only part of their team with them.
Yeah, but if you're going to have someone flanking, it might as well be the Hawk.
Yeah, that is
rolling
true.
On the point. He just didn't care in the world as he walks up, gets frozen, and dies.
Yeah, I don't know what you were expecting there, buddy, but that is certainly what you got.
That was the most casual thing
with a phenomenal hold here.
It's like he's like, "Hi, Shoonz. I'm one of you now. I'm one of the Goonz."
This isn't TF2. You're not a you're not a spy. You can't pretend to be part of the other team. They're gonna know.
So Prpl have nothing to work with here. They're finally switching over to a double shield, but they're not gonna have time to build up most of these ultimates, other than maybe the Nano, maybe the Barrage, and of course the McCree ult. But they're gumming up against some pretty powerful ones like the Graviton Surge, and they don't have a lot of fights left.
No, they certainly don't. This could be Shoonz Goonz going up 2-1 in this series off a fantastic performance here, and I think kind of a comp misplay, if I'm being perfectly honest, from Prpl. But Bastion comes in with a nice pick onto Crazy Kevin. Deadeye used from the Penguin, and it's able to find value. Bastion removed from the fight. So Shoonz Goonz looking primed to keep holding on to this point onto this first point hold. There's only 30 seconds left, but there's a couple ults coming online. Can they get to point in time? That's the question.
It doesn't look like it. I'm not sure they actually will be able to. They think they do. They don't swap to the ball. They don't swap to the Tracer. But I'm not sure who's going to touch. Nico's probably going to try with the teleporter, but I don't think it'll work out for them. Chili gets a pick, and they do get to touch the last minute.
Yeah, they are able to, but Seismic pays for it with their life. Bastion, though, finds another pick with the Barrage. The Blizzard, though, is it going to be bigger? It looks like that is going to be the case. This is just Bastion left now with the Mercy to try and make some magic happen on this point for Prpl, and the magic has started, but Bastion is removed from the fight. Nico is back on this Reaper guy. He's able to get a little bit of progress, but Dari has the sound burial coming online, and with this ill-advised Mercy dive into the field, they're gonna die as well. Random bloke removed from the fight, and that's gonna do it. Shoonz Goonz takes the lead 2-1.
Yeah, with a strong hold against a honestly bizarre composition coming out from Prpl for a lot of that. I'm not quite sure what they wanted to get done with that. Honestly, I did like the glimpses of brilliance with the Nano Pharah, but it seemed like they just couldn't get all of their members in the right position that they wanted, and they slowly just got picked off one by one. And then, you don't have any mobility, so there was at least a couple times where it felt like Seismic on the Orisa was just stuck somewhere. Like, he goes in with his team, then somebody gets caught out, and then he can't go back.
No, you don't want to retrace your step. That's a terrible idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very, very odd composition. I'm not, especially with the Hog instead of the Diva as well, that you really don't have very much defense, especially your Orisa shield's only so big. You only have it so many times. It's very hard to kind of cross choke points without taking the damage. So maybe a little bit of a misread, or Prpl just not able to get the comp together exactly how they wanted it to. But
it's a preseason comp.
Yeah, it's a preseason comp. To put it nicely.
Yeah, we are going to be headed to Lijiang Tower next, and this always makes me excited. One of my, actually, I'm going to go ahead and say it, my favorite map in the game. I love Lijiang Tower, and can't wait to see it. We're just going to keep rolling straight through into this next map. So, gonna be excited to see what comes out here, and this is Prpl's choice. So, they must be feeling pretty good about it, pretty good about their chances. It's primarily a brawl map, but you can run ball on it as well. Not so sure about the double bubble though. Maybe on Gardens you can.
Yeah, it does remind me a little bit of Busan, in a lot of these control points, is that there is, that very favored rush map on a control center. It's very favored for the Reinhardt-based compositions. The other two are a little up in the air, but you know what I'm excited to see juggle? I want to see Bastion play more Pharah. I really liked his Pharah. I think he came up with a couple of picks. He was the only times that Prpl actually got some kind of foothold was with the Nano onto the Pharah, the Nano coming in from Chile, who has also been putting on a pretty strong performance as well. So I'd definitely be excited if Bastion comes out and continues to play the flying hero, take control of the skybox, and just rain down some damage. And I know we said this is a Reinhardt rush map, but if you really want to, you can force the Pharah.
You certainly can. Yeah, we are going to be going to control center first, which, like you said, this is the rush map, but you can make Pharah work in here. I've seen it done. There are some ceilings in that main room over point, and if you just go a little bit outside to coast, there's a lot of sky room as well. You can hang out there and layer rockets in somewhat with impunity.
Yeah, you certainly can, but I don't think we're going to be seeing the Pharah today because, Juggle, when I say control center, I don't think Pharah is the explosive hero you think of first.
No, it's really not. You can make it work, but the explosive hero that makes things work a little bit better is the Junkrat, which is what we're seeing both teams come out on. They're going to both use the TP.
Except for the Steve Azaria.
Yeah, exactly. And that seems to have been the case for a lot of these matchups. Nico now layering in a lot of that explosive damage from the backline of Prpl, and it's going to pay dividends as Hob is removed from the fight once again. He's having a hard time staying alive in these early fights and these neutral ones as well.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit too aggressive. Hobbs has really been a feast or famine player. Sometimes it really has worked out for him, other times it has not. And this time it is going to lead to Prpl capping the point up first.
Yeah, and they want to hold on to this pretty strong. Amplification Matrix used now by Chili to keep Shoonz Goonz back. The shield goes down for Hobbs as well. They have to use the Immortality field too, and now they have barely any health left. Seismic is just gonna descend on Shoonz Goonz and wipe them off the face of this map.
Yeah, and Prpl have just been doing so much more damage. You can look that Nico already has the tire. He's had it for a while now. Fearful just getting to that 2/3 mark. So Nico has really been putting, I think it's twice as much damage down, and you can tell because Prpl is just putting, he's doing a lot, they're doing a lot of work here.
Yeah, they certainly are. Seismic also has this Shatter ready to go. Whip Tire initially layered out, but Hobbs finds it with the Fire Strike. Gotta love to see that. Self-destruct comes in. That was something else. Nico able to find value, though, once again, taking Penguin out of the fight. Sound Barrier used from Dari, and Mass Immune does find the kill onto Killa. So now, Shoonz Goonz has an opportunity here, but not with a Shatter like that coming in. Seismic, though, removed pretty quickly. This is going one way and then the other in rapid fire, but at the end of it all, once the dust settles, Prpl is on top again.
Yeah, Juggle, I can't blame you for miscalling the self-destruct because it seemed like we saw every single other during that fight. Hobbs goes in with one of his last patented charges, but this is the last chance, really, for Shoonz Goonz. Maybe with the teleporter they can come in again, but Prpl just wiped them out so quickly that there's no way they're gonna touch. Especially this is the cherry on top of the ice cream here. Juggle is just the ultimates coming in from Prpl.
Yeah, there was nothing that Shoonz Goonz could do against that. The brawl composition of Prpl's really in control that entire time. And I wonder if it has to come out to the difference between the off takes. I wonder if that really played a hand in what we saw play out there.
It certainly could, because Fearful not putting out as much damage on the Junkrat could definitely be part of that defense matrix just eating up a lot of those grenades while Nico got to get full value out of it. The other thing is just that Prpl are actually able to take that opening positioning. They were able to take the fight first, and especially on control center, taking first cap of a control point gives you so much more positioning. It gives you so much more value. It is much harder to attack a point that has a strong defense than one that is open like it is right now.
Yeah, exactly. Both teams use the TP to go to point. Crucially, Killa is on this Winston instead of the D.Va this time, so we got a double main tank look going on, but so far, things are actually going both ways. Picks from either side as Bastion is doing a lot of work on that Doomfist once again. And as the dust settles this time, Prpl once again coming up with a fight win.
Yeah, Fearful comes in, but once again, it does seem like one of these late staggers. Unfortunately for Shoonz Goonz, they are going to have to wait for quite a while before the whole team is ready to fight again. Killa sticking on the Winston here. I like it to start out with because you get a lot of cleave damage in that initial engagement where both teams teleport. Let's see how he wants to use it as he continues to stick on it, because it's definitely not a meta composition right now.
No, it's really not. And, there's so much cleave. Cleave is really going to be the name of the game with this comp, but Fearful comes in with a pick on the Bastion. Killa equalizes, though, onto Hobbs. Did they get booped off the map? They did. They used that jump pack a little too early. So Goonz actually coming away with a win on this point.
Yeah, they managed to cap him. Look at Dari. You don't normally see the 3Ks, but he manages to get one and almost has that sound barrier ready to go. Actually, all of Shoonz Goonz are just about at their ultimates, and they're a little bit more impactful with that Graviton Surge, pound for pound, and then Prpl. So Shoonz Goonz should be able to hold on for quite a while if they cycle well.
Yeah, that's a very good point. They're going to use, Prpl's going to use this Photon Barrier to open things up. A Penguin comes in with a pick onto Bastion. First shatters from both sides. Neither really having much of an impact on anything other than the ground. Killa primaling away Masamune as well. Looks like this going the way of Prpl.
Yeah, they managed to come away with that one. Nico getting 2 key kills in the middle. The turrets are still there, at least. I'm not sure how many members are, especially with Crazy Kevin going down. But it is going to be Prpl, but they spend a lot to do this. And once again, Juggle, Fearful is just in on the point, pretty much alone.
Yeah, this is very interesting. They are able to get a pick onto Fearful. Or no, sorry, Bastion's able to get the counter pick onto Fearful once again. So Shoonz Goonz, you know, the coordination just doesn't look like it's there, or the communication or something. At least on this map, because Prpl is just firmly in control right now.
Yeah, you know, maybe you're going for the last minute contest, but we've seen that come out a few too many times for Shoonz Goonz for me to give them the benefit of the doubt. They are going to punish Prpl as they overextend, but Seismic and Bastion are able to clean up the kills. Even if Seismic falls, there are not enough members of Shoonz Goonz to actually contest here. They need to find a place to put this Graviton Surge down and get value out of it, because they are looking like they're very close to last fight territory here, Juggle.
Yeah, they certainly are. This is do or die now for Shoonz Goonz. The turret right there doing a lot of work on Hobbs. Amplification Matrix committed from Chile to try and keep things, keep away Shoonz Goonz as long as they can, but they have started to push on the point, especially now with this sound barrier layered in from Prpl. Still, there's too much damage, and Shoonz Goonz takes the point.
Yeah, they get a lot of positioning with the Amplification Matrix, and they're able to just kind of take over the point alongside the shield from the Penguin, just keeping everyone, giving everyone a safe space to hide in. But now Nico has a shield of his own, that Photon Barrier, but it's going to be going up against the Graviton Surge from Masamune, who has been holding on to this for quite a long time. He needs to get a lot of value, maybe combo it with Fearful's Meteor Strike, but Fearful!
Whoa!
Oh, that was not looking good.
When you rolled the boom or bust dust, the boom or bust dice, they came out bust that time for that Doomfist. But now the fight is heavily underway on point. Masamune taken down early. Prpl coming up to an early lead, and with 99% on the board for them, this is going to be potentially a map win for them once they clear the point.
Yeah, Fearful finds Nico, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Masamune's trying to come back, touch with the ball. He might get a chance to. Yeah, the touches are coming in, but it does not feel like it's enough to me, Juggle. I don't know about you, but
no,
it really looks like we are going to a map 6.
Yeah, I can't believe it. This has been one hell of a series, and it's not over yet. What is this recontest coming in? Crazy Kevin gets one pick onto Nico. Can Fearful find a little bit more to turn this around? Is this possible? The Immortality Field is out from Chile. They're able to get some value for it, but the Penguin is able to take Chile out of the fight. Fearful does eventually fall, but the picks are going both ways right now. Prpl looked like they were almost caught with their pants down right there, but they are going to maybe be able to come up with a win. As soon as the dust settles, this could still go either way, though.
And Shoonz Goonz is just standing up here with the Amplification Matrix, raining down damage, taking the teleporter, but not dropping onto the point. That is so smart coming out from the Baptiste for Shoonz Goonz. And once again, Juggle God, it looks like Shoonz Goonz are they're going to win an unwinnable fight. They're going to come out when Prpl was at 99% for the second time in this series to run away and capture the map. There's no way we're getting another contest like that. No, it is Shoonz Goonz with the ultimates and just the sheer persistence and tenacity to actually come back to that one. That was nuts.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. They got their act together at the last moment, and it paid dividends. And now we are headed to Gardens. And since we're here, Purple's back is against the wall. This is do or die for them. They have to come out with a win here, or else this series is over.
Yeah, they really have to come up with it here to push us to that map 6. But I don't know, Prpl, I'm not sure if it's just they get a little bit lax when they think they've won a fight, but we've seen Shoonz Goonz will never give up. They'll never give up even when they should, so they'll just keep coming in. So maybe it's a little bit of that personality mismatch here as Shoonz Goonz just force their way into fights they have no business winning.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, you know, I think they're taking a page out of a Chinese Overwatch's book, because they'll throw ultimates into losing fights and come up with a win somehow. So, you know, it's not over till it's over. And it's certainly not over yet, as this control point is just about ready to unlock. So we're going to see the fight breaking out in droves here in just a couple of moments. Now it's being contested. Hobbs swinging that rocket hammer to and fro. But he's not connecting with as many people as he needs to. Seismic eventually removed from the fight by Masamoon. So this could be the start that Shoonz Goonz needs to finish this series off and to send Prpl packing.
Yeah, Juggle, I've said it before, I'll say it again. This 6-man kind of dive comp came from Overwatch League just earlier this year. Specifically, it came at a time when Reinhardt was banned.
Right.
I think Ryan counters this comp incredibly well, and luckily it does look like Prpl thinks so as well, as they swap over to match the Rhine and play the Cowboy as well to push forward here. They're coming up on the EMP, which is pretty much their only hope, facing down almost 6 ultimate.
Yeah, that's true. They've got, they're going to have to hang all of their hopes on this, but right now he's getting pressured out, but Chili goes down, or Chili's able to take Fearful out of the fight with that Coalescence. Nico still has this this EMP, but it doesn't look like they're going to need it, as Prpl has come back very strong in the fight. But at the last moment, it looks like Shoonz Goonz is going to make another phenomenal hold here. The Shatter does connect as well, but Hobbs is killed. That sound barrier, though, providing a lot of extra percentage capture for Shoonz Goonz, and they still may end up coming out with a win, but they're going to have to dodge this self-destruct right here. The turrets from Penguin getting a lot of work done, but it is eventually going to turn over to Prpl.
But at 61%.
Yeah.
The saving grace is Nico gets to hold on to this EMP, which is great for them. It's great for their chances to continue holding on, especially if they get to, you know, cycle this with some of their support ultimates. The only thing going for Shoonz Goonz is this Graviton Surge, which Killa, I'm sure, is going to be watching out for. And with a Beat and a Coalescence, you can probably get around that one as well. So I'm assuming Prpl will win this fight, especially with a 5-man EMP.
Jeez, yeah. And now it is just a shooting gallery for Prpl, it turns out, as this Coalescence gets tremendous value. And they're going to be able to hold on to this point.
Yeah, Shoonz Goonz, they go ahead and do the resets. Nico does get the value out of the EMP and decides to swap over to the Hanzo. A little bit scary for an EMP fight. You don't want to lose a couple members in those, but they do manage to hold on, and they're ticking up to the percentage of Shoonz Goonz on this last point of Lijiang Tower. Still, the ultimate's now pretty solidly in favor of Shoonz Goonz, and they're pretty strong ones as well. With the grab and the Photon Barrier, there's an opportunity here for Shoonz Goonz to push in.
Yeah, there certainly is, and they are going to take that opportunity right now. Turrets layered down, they're going to be teleported away towards the back line of Prpl. They get spotted out, though. The sound barrier committed from Random Bloat. That's going to allow a lot more staying power, but a massive Shatter from Hobbs lays down so many members of Prpl, and they are not going to get back up.
Yeah, that is absolutely beautiful. You get to hold on to the Blizzard as well for Fearful, and even with the Beat, the follow-up Shatter after the Graviton Surge is going to just lay Prpl out on their backs. Now, Prpl have to come back in, but Shoonz Goonz have the percentage juggle. This could be last fight territory. Fearful has to land this Blizzard, and he will lock it up for Shoonz Goonz.
That they will, but they're going to have to survive this Deadeye first. A couple of Skulls and Crossbones come up, but there's a Mayball at the last moment by Fearful.
He gets it.
Here comes that Blizzard. It's going to be big. Self-destruct layered in by Killa, but they're removed from the fight, and the self-destruct doesn't find any value. Kills coming in now for both sides, but it's looking better for Shoonz Goonz. They're going to be able to seal the deal. They're going to be able to close this out, clutch it out. They're going to get the win in this 6-game banger that we had between Prpl and Shoonz Goonz. Shoonz Goonz comes up with a win.
Yeah, Shoonz Goonz playing very strong, very persistent styles, and it is going to net them the win here. A couple times that even us in the casting booth did not think they'd get away with. You know, we started
Right.
Yeah, we'd be like, oh yeah, Prpl's won. Let's start talking about the next map. But no, it's plays by Shoonz Goonz by these aggressive members like Hobbs here, getting this play of the game. It's aggressive members like Hobbs and pretty much the whole team, but especially Fearful, who just come in incredibly strong and, you know, feast or famine, really.
Yeah.
It's exactly the best way to describe this team, I think. And today, they're feasting.
That they are. And we are going to throw it to a short break right now while we get someone in here for an interview and we consult and decide on your MVP for the match. So stick around, don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Hello, everybody. We are back, and we have an interview with the man who lost his S key somewhere along the way, Hobbs, the main tank who just knows how to int. Excited to have you in here. But before we get to the interview, Spooky and I have one more little bit of business. We want to announce our MVP for the match, and that is going to be Massamune today.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, Massamune did a fantastic job, and would love to hear more of your thoughts on their play, Spooky.
Yeah, I think Massamune was very, very solid. He held his Graviton Surges for good opportunities. I know a lot of teams will be just hitting the queue, trying to win these fights, but I do think Masmin was very good about holding them for when he knew he'd get value. He carried Gibraltar, and all in all, when you're playing a Zarya instead of the D.Va, you do have to be a little bit more conscientious of your ability usage, of where you're standing, your positioning, everything, all of the above, especially because you don't actually have the mobility on your own to get out of these situations. So playing the Zarya the entire time, or most of the time at least, Masmin looked very, very good, and I think was a very stable part of this team that helped carry them to this win.
Absolutely. Now, let's get into the interview with Hobbs. So, first off, Hobbs, congratulations on the preseason tournament win. That's got to feel good.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, second, I just want to know who, because, like, Spooky and I were just constantly talking about, like, how far in you would go. As Reinhardt. Honestly, I feel like we play very similarly, except you tend to feed a little bit less, I think, which is the key right there. Yeah, do you have any Reinhardts that you take after? Anyone who you look up to and model your play after?
Actually, myself, I modeled my play after myself because I'm the best main tank that this league is ever going to see in the history. And I'd like to give a quick shout out to Crazy Kevin, who I couldn't do it without him. You know, he wasn't healing me. He had gold damage during that. But I can do whatever I want with Crazy Kevin on my team.
Oh my gosh, yeah, this certainly seems to be the case. Spooky, I'm going to turn it over to you now for a couple questions for him.
Yeah, absolutely, Hobbs. Your team definitely, with a flex support having gold damage, of course, Crazy Kevin's putting it in, but your team's aggressive, to say the least. Not just you, the rest of your team. And what kind of goes through your mind? There were a couple times on both, I believe, Mecha-based Busan and Night Garden on Lijiang, or Night Market on Lijiang, where we had called it. We were like, okay, Prpl's gonna win this map, and then we see, Fearful's coming in. Oh, he gets a pick, but all of Prpl's still on. All of Prple's still standing, so Shoonz Goonz aren't coming in. Now we're talking for like 15 seconds, and the fight's still going, and then suddenly you guys come out of nowhere and just manage to cap that. You did it a couple of times. What's up with that persistence? You just never give up.
I don't know. Well, every fight obviously starts with me dying first.
Of course.
That's how we like to play it. But then, I don't know. We just kind of do our thing. Like, they just didn't seem to be able to focus us down. So, like, I don't know. Just keep on playing persistent on point. Like, just being annoying, like, as annoying as possible. And I don't know. I don't want to say it was an easy game because we drew a map and it was kind of embarrassing. But it's okay. I think we played pretty well. I'm proud of my guys.
Yeah, you certainly should be. You did walk away with this win, and 100% win rate in matches for Inspire. Yeah. It's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Juggle, you got anything else?
Yeah, you've already given one shout out, but I want to see if you've got any others that you want to give to other teammates, staff, friends, family. Strangers in towels in the background during the break.
I want to give a shout out to Fearful for being the worst player in the league. I'd also like to give a shout out to Hudson. Hudson, I love you. Thank you for inspiring me to be me. Thank you so much. I love you so much. And another shout out to my roommate who just got out of the shower.
All right, well, let's hear it for all of them. Thank you so much. We saw a little ghostly figure in the background there for a split second. I think that's going to do it for us tonight in this broadcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you to Samter on production. Thank you for everyone in Inspire for putting this together. GG's, and see you next time.
Thank you.